Hi everybody, it's Nikki with a video that is my personal experience, not to be used as medical advice, and I'm going strong with that one today because I'm going to go out on the ledge today and say something that's, possibly controversial, I don't know, but it's something I do, and it's a way that I have learned to coexist with my 670. I hear from a lot of people where they talk about when they try to enter a BG and they get all of those messages, wait to enter, won't accept the calibration, whatever it is. And I have made a video a while back about the magic calibration number, and that is 35%. And I made just one, and I figured I would make another one today and explain it again today. And the reason why is because it's not just a convenient number to know. I mean, in my everyday decisions, I use that. And in fact, I won't put a blood sugar into my pump without calculating that 35% first to see whether or not it's going to cause a problem. In the old pumps, I think that, I don't even know what we know because I was a bad diabetic, so I didn't know anything about any of it. I know now that my pump is going to create major problems for me if I give it a number it doesn't like. Even if my number is right, if my pump doesn't like it, it wins. So enter the 35%. So for instance, I'm just going to give you an example right here. I can't because I don't have a sensor on right now, which reminds me I'll do that and then I'll get my birthday message down. But anyway, okay. For instance, if I have a blood sugar, if I have an SG of a 100, and when I do a finger stick, I'm at a 147. Right off the bat, quick math says that's outside of 35%. Now, that's easy for me because I calculate my stuff 86 times a day. But it's easy enough to find out. So, for instance, I would take 100 and I would multiply times 0.35, which is how you multiply a percentage, and that would give me 35. So now I know that my range is going to be 100 plus and minus 35. So that would be 65 to 135. So as long as the number I'm inputting is between, and I always go one digit up to be safe, say 66 and 134, it should take it. And I can't think of a time it hasn't. So I'm not going to say it won't, because that would be a problem. But I can't think of a time it hasn't for me. So that 35% is just rock solid. Now, if my blood sugar is a 147 and I know it's only going to accept up until the 135, that's the true number, what do I do? Well, the first thing is I don't put in a 147. It's going to freeze up my pump, whether it be for 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes. It's just going to create problems. It's going to start with that wait to enter BG, BG processing, enter BG now. It's like this world that's just a load of crap, which is my favorite word, so I apologize for using it all the time, but it's what it is. So we don't have to go there, right? Like, we have choices. The ideal choice, if you have the time, is wait a couple minutes until your SG catches up, because more often than not, that's what it is. There is this delay, can be a delay up to 12 minutes. So give it 3 or 4 minutes, and maybe you'll jump up enough that you're comfortably within that 35%. Here's the controversial part, and I'll say I won't do it with a big difference, but if my SG reads a 100 and my BG is a 147, and I know that up to a 135 it would take it, and I just need my pump to take a number because I really need to get into auto mode before I go to sleep or whatever it is, and I'm talking about a small difference, I might attempt, and I don't have time to wait, or I don't have another finger stick, I don't have another tester. There's all these problems, right, when you're trying to do this. Here's the flip side. If I know that my tester can be up to a 20% difference, what I might do is I might take my 147 and I might multiply it times 0.2, which is 20%, which would give me 29. So now I have a 147 plus or minus, just say 30 to make it easier, okay? So a 177, a 117 to a 177. That's my range. So I say, okay, let's just pretend like that meter is within, it has to be 20%. There's that window, that gray, whatever, sloppy window. I got a video coming about that because I'm ticked. But anyway, this 20% window. So maybe my 147 is not perfectly accurate, and maybe it has to be between a 117 and whatever I said, a 177, 160, whatever it was, so 77. So if that's the case, would a 134, which I know is within that 35% range, my pump will accept, is that within that 20% range of my meter? And in this case, yes. And in reality, we're talking the difference between a 134 and a 147. You know, those numbers are okay in my mind, and I might feed my pump a 134, even though it's not what my finger stick said, because I know it will accept it, and I know that it could very well be within that meter range that's FDA approved. I understand that as soon as I say that, I understand that I'm kind of opening a can of worms, and I know that it, you know, may or may not be the best advice. I just know that there are times I have to do what I have to do, and I need my pump to have a number, whether it be that I need my pump to be able to suspend itself, and I would rather have it suspend me a little too early or even a little too late than not at all. You know, I mean, it's, you know, drastic times call for drastic measures, and diabetes is living in drastic times for me. I mean, I don't know, maybe not for, hopefully not for everybody, but that's the case for me. Anyway, my rule, and I live by it on a day-by-day basis, is any number that I go to put in my pump, I check my 35% before I enter it, with the exception of the ones that are so close, you know, that it's clear. So for instance, if my SG is a 100 and my BG is a 102, then I put it in. If my SG is a 201, if my SG is a 236 and my BG is a 271, you know, math people might go, oh yeah, that's easy. My brain goes, I don't have any idea. And I go to the calculator and I do my 35% of the SG. Remember, you have to do it of the SG. And I see whether or not that 271 or whatever the number was is within 35%. Then I have my choices, you know, and I line up all of my, you know, extenuating circumstances and try to figure out what is the best choice to make at this time. 7.5 minutes. I'm going to go take down my 6-month-old birthday message. And if it's still up there the next video, then you're going to know that life is, you know. Okay, anyway, have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Bye.